All right, here we are for round 3 of our tournament of 3 rounds, I suppose, since it's an 8-player tournament. So we are on the draw. This is a good hand. We have all of our colors of mana, both of our colors of mana. It's one of the great things about this deck. There's only 2, and you know, a reasonable curve here. So I'm not going to mulligan. We're going to go ahead and keep this and continue hiccuping. Oh my God, don't stop. Forest. I like your style, Bradley Young 925. Elvish Mystic. All right, well, we drew a mana accelerator, which is kind of nice. We're going to play a temple. And what do we have here? Mana Confluence. We are not interested in you. So we get to actually play... Let's see what our opponent's actually up to. What do you have to go with your Elvish Mystic? I'm jealous of your Elvish Mystic. Well, it's attacking me. It's not what Elvish Mystics are for. I don't know if you got the memo about Llanowar Elf, you know, 20 years ago. I don't know, it looks like our opponent is also playing green-red. So this is this is bad for me right now, but certainly a good sign for the deck's quality that this is what I'm running into in the finals of this event. I'm kind of jealous that my opponent has 2 mana creatures in play and I only have the 1. It's pretty rude, if you ask me, to just hog all the mana creatures like that. Whew. Well, what you got? Come on, come on. I wonder if Arc Lightning actually seems like it's probably pretty good in this matchup sideboard-wise. You know, with multiple 1-toughness creatures, my opponent also has Ash Cloud Phoenixes, can clear out multiple mana creatures plus Ash Cloud, kill Heir of the Wilds and a mana creature. Everyone's getting attacked. I'm not gonna block. Looks like our opponent is gonna play probably a Phoenix if he is on the more common list that I've seen people playing. Or maybe he doesn't have 4 mana, maybe he only has 3 here. Blue, oh no, okay, he's actually playing Teamer. Alright, well, I can respect that too. So we're going to go ahead and just drop double Heir of the Wilds. This is a very good response to a Savage Knuckleblade, I'll tell you that much. Heir of the Wild is good at holding the ground there. So hopefully the opponent doesn't just have a, I don't know, Crater's Claw hit me for 1,000 damage. Because that would be rude. So in the green matchups, the most important cards are things like Poconos. Just the big creatures. Savage Knuckleblade is one of them. Does get blocked by Heir of the Wild, which is one of the great things about this. Heir of the Wild was a card that was in my earliest versions of Teamer, and I really liked it there in order to give you the ability to pressure past even big opposing creatures. Heir of the Wilds could always attack through, and it's also nice here to be able to possibly block. So there's one Crater's Claws. Are we getting double Crater's Claws? Is that what's happening to us? Oh no. Oh no. It's just a second Crater's Claws? This is brutal. It looks like it. Yep. Okay, and then we're just getting attacked for 7 damage. Ew. I don't know, we're just getting attacked with that. Gonna play another one. That would be brutal. No, you're actually just holding up mana. Interesting. So this is probably a Teamer charm here, which is pretty brutal. I'm just going to go ahead and cast a Fanatic of Xenagos. Sarkhan doesn't really do anything here because can't use it to kill Knuckleblade because he has mana up and he looks like he has a Teamer charm anyway. So this is really basically, my opponent had 2 mana creatures in the play against me having 1 in the draw and is able to get out ahead with you know, just more mana production and threats, and with the double Critter's Claws to remove my heirs, I'm in a bit of hurt here. Bit of a rough spot. Yeah, this is going to be. Oh no, he can't even cast Temur Charm. I wasn't even paying attention to his mana, but Sarkhan still isn't good, despite the fact that it can resolve. For some reason, I was thinking he could cast it, but this is one of the reasons that I actually don't really like Elvish Mystic, is because it's kind of awkward here. But all right, we're just going to play a land. Even if I did play Sarkhan, it could only go to 5, and if I minused it, he could pump his Knuckleblade. So, all right, so I can't attack. I mean, I can attack with like this, but I don't think that's actually very good. I would just trade with an Elvish Mystic, and yeah, this Knuckleblade is super powerful. I mean, you know, there's definitely something to be said for how powerful Knuckleblade is, even if it does make your deck less consistent. But when you do get things going, and my opponent just has Knuckleblade in play off of all basic lands, which is a monumental feat, really. And I'm just going to take it. Maybe he'll just pump or something. We could double block. If we double block and he pumps, what happens? He trades with both my guys. I'm guessing he has Temur Charm in his deck, so he could actually just play Temur Charm and kill my guy, and kill both my guys with it. So basically, I'm screwed, is what it comes down to. We need to potentially get him to do something else with Temur Charm if he has a Temur Charm. Or is he pumping it? Maybe he's Temur Charm fighting. Yeah, it looks like he's Temur Charm fighting here. Yep. That was what I was afraid of if I did block. And that was kind of what I just called him having there. So here, I'm going to sack this. Getting dangerously low in life. Alright, I think I'd actually rather play Sarkhan here and kill Knuckleblade than play this. I actually could play Heir of the Wilds and Fanatic. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm going to play Fanatic. Heir of the Wilds. And just say go. There's another Temur Charm doesn't let him get through this. I mean, he could Temur Charm to make my guy unable to block. But I feel like I'd rather have kind of work to have a stable ground here. I'm gonna die at any moment to a Critter's Claws anyway. He's already played 2 of them, thankfully. But I mean, he could draw just like a dragon too and kill me with that. But right now, Heir of the Wilds can hold off Knuckleblade, which is pretty nice. His hand can't be land because he hasn't played land in several turns. So I mean, what my opponent has in his hand is kind of scary. His access to 5 mana, has not played a land in several turns. Courser. Okay. Stubborn Denial on top of his deck. Alright. Well, we gotta cast this Sarkhan now. Maybe that's what his hand is, another Stubborn Denial. Well, I'm going to cast this right now. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and fight this. So that leaves him with a Stubborn Denial and no 4-power creature, which is kind of nice. I don't think I want to attack with anything here. I'm just going to go ahead and play another Elvish Mystic and say go. We're going to hold off and, you know, pseudo protect Sarkhan blockers here. So he's drawing Stubborn Denial. Rabble Master. Okay, so he has a Stubborn Denial in his hand. His other cards could be something like Courser Crufix. You could have like another Courser or something. That is a distinct possibility. Another Knuckleblade. Okay. That's fine. Not fine per se, but it is, ooh. All right, well, that's a really good draw. Poconos is a really, really good draw here. And this is like, you know, one of those, you know, sort of reasons you play Poconos, because it is so good in these sort of matchups. So we're going to go ahead and just Dragon him, I think. There's no reason to attack with anything else. I could attack with Fanatic of Xenagos because I am playing Poconos. I know that my opponent has Stubborn Denial in hand, an unknown card, and is drawing Rabble Master. If I attack with Fanatic of Xenagos, then I have Poconos and air that can block. Yeah, I'm going to attack with Fanatic. He can potentially like block with Knuckleblade, but I'm fine trading Fanatic with Knuckleblade because that's a good trade for me. So here, like his only block that is, you know, profitable isn't just a chump block, is trading, because he only has 2 mana and he can't pump his Knuckleblade. So we're hitting for 8 here, and then we get to cast Poconos. Now I can currently Monstrous Poconos for 1, which can turn off his blue mana if I really want to, but I'm going to hold off because I have 4 more mana and I can, you know, Monstrous Poconos for 3, which is, you know, clearly much more powerful. There's an Heir of the Wild, so my opponent is, it looks like he's playing like kind of like Jeff Hoogland's deck from the Players Championship, with, you know, Rabble Master and Heir of the Wilds alongside Knuckleblade. So I know his hand now is Rabble Master, Stubborn Denial, and an unknown card. This unknown card is probably some sort of like mid-range-ish creature, is my guess, because nothing else makes a ton of sense. If he plays Rabble Master, I can potentially Monstrous Poconos for 3, eating like most of his mana. We know he's drawing Heir of the Wilds. Mostly just want to kill him with Sarkhan at this point, because he has the Knuckleblade, which makes it difficult to attack into him on the ground. But if I'm able to Monstrous Poconos for, like for say 2 or 3 at this point and kill Rattleclaw and something else, this is going to be Rabble Master. Yeah, there it is. I guess we have some like stoke the flames and possibly try and kill my Poconos there. All right, so I could Monstrous at the end of his turn and kill Rattleclaw. That gives me only a 6/6, and there's not very good reason to do that. So I think I just want to untap and Monstrous Poconos. I think probably for 2, killing his 2 mana creatures. It could be for 3, killing Rabble Master and his mana creatures. That might be better, but for now we're gonna untap. We're clearly gonna use this. And if we want, we can Monstrous Poconos. But I think I'm gonna need Poconos, because if I just kill this and this, and Poconos is 7/7, and I attack with these 2, he actually has to block Poconos. But yeah, I can make him 7/7. Then what happens on the way back? He gets an Heir of the Wild. I have these 2 untapped. I've killed this and this. So I have Heir of the Wilds, and I can chump block. So This just forces him to chump block with Elvish Mystic. I'm actually, I have to tap this and this to do 3 to actually get both of these. And then I have these two untapped. I think that's fine, because I know he's drawing Heir of the Wild. I know his hand is Stubborn Denial. This guy, he actually could trade. He could trade his Knuckle Blade, because I'd have 3 damage on my guy. But I think that's also fine. Yeah, this seems like it works out very well for me. Because this forces him to chump, restricts his mana even more. And then when he attacks me, okay, he's just conceding. So that went very well. And Sarkhan was great there. Sarkhan was substantially better than Stormbreath would have been in that spot because we were able to actually use it to kill a guy the turn we played it immediately. Sideboard-wise, I think against his deck, I feel like Lightning Strike is pretty good because he has Rabble Master. Kratos Claws is clearly great. I feel like Stormbreath is good. Ashcloud Phoenix seems okay. I feel like Savage Punch and Chandra maybe actually be both quite good. Arc Lightning actually seems quite good. I think Savage Punch and Arc Lightning seem good here. And Arc Lightning is probably better than Lightning Strike because he has both Elvish Mystic and Rattleclaw Mystic to kill. Maybe that's just playing too much of a value game and not enough of a tempo game though. Boon Satyr feels weak. I think we gotta board out all of our Boon Satyrs. Rabble Master feels like it's fairly weak in the draw, but still feels like it's good overall. Maybe Boon Satyr is still good because I could let my guys fight with his larger stuff like Rattleclaw. Then again, I mean, I could do that much more effectively with Savage Punch. Maybe Boon Satyr is good because it does help enable Savage Punch on something like Heir of the Wilds too. I'm not really sure here. I feel like Xenagos is probably bad because I imagine he has Stormbreath Dragon and it's not very good, particularly on the draw. I don't really want to be playing this on turn 3 or turn 4 when I'm getting pressured. Maybe Arc Lightning is going too much down the value direction. It does feel like it's very powerful though to be able to Arc Lightning like an Elvish Mystic and an Heir of the Wilds or something. I feel like Arc Lightning feels pretty good. We have a lot of things to do. I'm going to cut Lightning Strike. Cut both Phoenixes, maybe? No, Phoenix actually seems pretty good. Phoenix seems better than Boon Satyr. We're going to take Boon Satyr out and put the Phoenixes back in. Boon Satyr does feel like it's fairly weak here. Especially on the draw, we're going to be trying to react to what he's doing. I'm going to go ahead and try this. I feel like this might be a little bit greedy with the Arc Lightnings and no Lightning Strikes, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. And this draw, well, this draw definitely would rather have a Lightning Strike than an Arc Lightning because it has no acceleration and nothing to do on 2. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. I have both my colors of mana and reasonable selection of stuff to do. I certainly would prefer to have a mana creature than any of my cards. Ooh, Mana Confluence. He's taking some damage. Though if he plays Elvish Mystic here and then possibly plays a Rattleclaw next turn, we could be in a lot of trouble. Or not Rattleclaw, a Knuckle Blade. Or Rabble Master, particularly given that we have this Arc Lightning and that we don't have the ability to actually kill something next turn. If this were Lightning Strike and he plays Rabble Master, we'd be in a lot better position, but no matter what he plays here, accelerates into, we're actually kind of in a rough spot, any of his 3s. And there's Rabble Master. So now I really wish that I had Lightning Strike to kill this here. And I am getting punished for my greed of Arc Lightning. It's possible Arc Lightning's better going first because you can bury them, but it feels like it might be possible that I wanted to have Lightning Strike going second. Yeah, because now I just have nothing to do on turn 2, and I am just pretty far behind. If I was able to kill this with Lightning Strike right here. I mean, granted, I only have 2 Lightning Strikes and I have 3 Arc Lightnings in my deck, so it's not guaranteed that this would have been a Lightning Strike, but it certainly is a better place to be in than where I am. gonna get hit for like 1,000 damage this turn. And you could also just have a Stubborn Denial here, which even just as Force Spike is super powerful. Oh, he's got another Mana Confluence. Oh god, is this Knuckle Blade? We are just buried. Well, I may have just lost this game regardless because his draw is super powerful. But this would have been better as Lightning Strike here to at least be able to kill Rabble Master. But yeah, we're just taking 1,000 damage this turn. And this is what, you know, the Mana Confluence Elvish Mystic draws can enable sometimes, just not necessarily consistently able to do so. There's no way we can come back from this. I'm just dead. So I'm not going to change my sideboarding for this game. I do think that Arc Lightning feels like it actually is substantially stronger on the play because of the ability to actually deal with mana creature plus something for value. I think is actually worth a lot. It's possible that that's wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and try it out. So. All right, so we're obviously going to play first, and this is a good draw. We have Elvish Mystic, which is basically what you always want. Elvish Mystic is just the best card. So we're just going to go ahead and play an Elvish Mystic turn 1. And then we have Temple that can allow us to dig for more action. But Heir of the Wilds is very good in this matchup. Heir of the Wilds is, you know, a kind of an all-star here because it's able to win fights against the larger creatures. So my opponent plays turn 1 Shivan Reef, which is indicative of not a particularly great draw. He doesn't have a mana creature yet. Rabble Master, we will put you on top. We're going to go ahead and play an Heir of the Wilds. So, all right, well, he has a forest, so he could potentially play a Mana Accelerator this turn. He didn't. So this could mean that he has something like a Lightning Strike that he could possibly use to kill our Rabble Master, but I'm going to go ahead and play it anyway. Because Lightning Strike, we didn't actually even see Lightning Strike in the previous games. But he has a stun. No, okay, well, we're just getting him. Sadly, the Heir of the Wilds will never. You can stack these. I actually don't know how this interaction works. It hasn't come up for me before. But this is, you know, what a lot of these games can look like when you're playing green deck against green deck. You know, the player who comes out to a more explosive start with Elvish Mystic and mana creatures in general can get sometimes an insurmountable advantage. And here, even if he plays a, what is he playing here? Oh, Anger. Anger of the Gods. All right, well, that was powerful. That certainly wasn't an insurmountable advantage. I didn't expect Anger of the Gods to come out of a deck that also has its own Rabble Masters, but maybe it's you know, a totally reasonable option if you're on the draw. So now we have very few resources. You know, our hand is pretty mana heavy at this point. So that went very well for our opponent. I am a little skeptical of having Anger of the Gods in a deck that has so many things that it kills itself, but it certainly worked very well from there. I guess Anger of the Gods on the draw is a possible, you know, in this matchup. Like, it allows you to recover from those sort of openings that could otherwise be very difficult. And frankly, Anger of the Gods would again be very good here because it would kill both my Heir and my Ashcloud Phoenix while allowing my opponent's Savage Knuckleblade to live. So I'm possibly open to, you know, just getting blown out by that again. So we'll see how this goes. And here Heir of the Wilds is really showing its value. You know, my opponent has a larger creature than me, but I'm still able to get in for damage because I'm just able to trade otherwise. My opponent is in a spot where, you know, he probably really needs this Knuckleblade for perhaps Ferocious on a Crater's Claws to, you know, he wants to like kill my guy and be able to start pressuring me to try and race. But Anger of the Gods is another reason another reason that I think that having actual substantial creatures like Poconos is really important in some of these matchups. Against other green creature decks, Poconos is among the best things you can be doing. It looks like my opponent maybe he has a Stormbreath Dragon. He's sacking go to 5 mana. Maybe this is Succan. Alright, Stormbreath Dragon. And is he attacking? He's attacking me. I'm kind of tempted to just block Stormbreath Dragon with Ashcloud Phoenix here. I can flip up Ash. Yeah, this is a really weird attack. I don't understand it at all from him. Because I just get to block here. Does this kill him? This doesn't kill him, but I'm just gonna be able to flip this up and hit him again. So this, I don't agree with this attack at all. I think this attack is really ill-advised from my opponent, because I just get to trade, my guy flips down, and now I'm just going to flip it back up, and it actually does more damage to my opponent this way. I think he had to, if he was going to play Stormbreath, he had to keep it back on defense that turn. And attacking with Knuckleblade here too. He's actually just dead. Well, not, I have 4, yeah, I have to flip at least. So we're gonna face up, do 8 to you, leave you at 2 with this in hand, or I have 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's not quite enough. So I will put you at 2. Yeah, I have to question my opponent's choice there to attack with both of those, to not block Heir of the Wilds. In particular, the attack with Stormbreath feels pretty bad, given I have 5 land in play and an Ashcloud Phoenix. The best thing that can happen is that you hit me for 8 and then I just hit you for 6 back and possibly kill you with something like Crater's Claws. So I can just play Rabblemaster here, because this Crater's Claws is lethal, like, no matter what. I can play Rabblemaster, which gives me another, I guess I can just attack with this too. There's any number of things. Like, this gives me another guy, so he has to deal with 3 things. Alright, well, we are victorious. So here we go, 3-0. This is actually the second straight 8-player tournament in a row that I've won playing this deck today. So I'm really liking it. I definitely think that the aggression that it's able to put forth, and just the consistency that you have from just being a 2-color deck. I actually even was mulliganing hands where I was missing a color, and it's possible that maybe the deck needs a little bit more color fixing. I'd kind of like to actually swap out a land for another Rattleclaw. I feel like any draw that has 2 land and a Rattleclaw is better than a draw that has 3 land. Obviously, a hand with 1 land and 1 Rattleclaw is worse than a hand with 2 land, but either of those is going to be problematic for you unless you draw a third. But anyway, yeah, I feel like this is definitely a very strong deck. At least the core of it is. There's probably a couple of tweaks that I might make. I don't know how great Boon Satyr is. I like it a lot in some of the matchups, but in others it's kind of clunky. Maybe you want to go down to 2 Boon Satyrs. I liked the combination of Ashcloud Phoenixes and Poconos, especially if this is a deck that becomes more popular. Poconos is really powerful. I'm not sure how I feel about Lightning Strike too. Lightning Strike is like a card that is great in some matchups and almost dead in others. I mean, I can even imagine possibly just playing Arc Lightning in your main deck because it's so powerful against some of the decks where you want that effect. I can also just imagine just playing more creatures. More proactive stuff. Maybe moving some of the Planeswalkers in the sideboard to the main deck or something like that. So, but anyway, definitely really like this deck. It is almost certainly what I'm going to be playing this weekend in Denver. I just need to find out the right mix and get to it. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Did stray from Teamer, but didn't stray from my roots here. Still attacking people with giant monsters and dragons, and that's just what I like to do. So I'll be back doing some more of that, I'm sure, sometime soon. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.